Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we're doing the crossword for Friday, September 6th, 2024. So, on a day that is a week away from being very unlucky, did you do the crossword?
Ooh, yes, I did. But now that you've told me about the unlucky day coming ahead,
It's next Friday. The third,
I
which
live
will
in
be
fear.
Well, probably Sam Azursky will be writing that crossword, so you should. What do you think about this one? Were you lucky in working on this one?
I was pretty lucky.
Oh, good.
You know, all week I've been saying I did it almost as fast as Tuesday or Monday. And this one I didn't do as fast as Monday, but I did it pretty fast for a Friday.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble with it.
Oh, that's good.
How about you?
I found it to be extremely challenging. I eventually got it done, but I started in the bottom right corner because that was the only place I could find. And actually, so according to this, it took me 27 minutes to do.
Well, you did better than me. It took me 28:30.
But the funny thing is, it seemed to take about a day and a half. I mean, I was just like, I can't get anything here. Where did you start to fill in your answers?
Well, I did better with the downs than I did with the acrosses. But I got 15 across right away. One might be reached at a summit, and that was peace deal.
Really? Oh, I'm impressed.
Yeah. And let's see, what else?
What about 17 across, intensely focused in the zone?
No, I put, what did I put? I had something else there, but I can't remember. But yeah, I didn't put in the zone. I also got 16 across right away, part of the military brass, and I thought, I bet it's a bugle. And I was right.
See, I knew it was a musical instrument, but at the time of night I was doing this, I could not think of any musical instruments other than pianos, which didn't seem like they were probably going to be made of brass. So I had to wait for the crosses.
Yeah, but then like 4 down, Crimean town in 1945 headlines. I thought, well, that's got to be Yalta.
Unless you were me, in which case you'd think it has to be Malta.
Oh, yeah, I get those confused sometimes. So
I get them confused mainly when I desperately need not to. And even one across, mollycoddle, was baby.
Yes.
That took me
a while too.
Right. I find it interesting in today's strands. One of the answers is baby. I'm sure there's no connection between that and the crossword, but it was interesting timing there.
Yeah. And there, of course, were some really long ones right in the middle. The 3 that went the length of the puzzle.
Yep.
And I did put other things like 39 across, much appreciated, in quotes. And I tried to put "thank you so very much" in there.
Nice. That's a very polite of you.
Yeah, but the answer was, "it means a lot to me."
Yes. That sounds a lot more predictable and conventional.
But
and with 40 across, line from a blame shifter, the answer was, "that wasn't my idea."
Oh, yeah.
You know, I originally thought it was going to be, "that wasn't my fault." But that, of course, didn't fit. Right. And 32 across, that third grid-spanning answer, Rembrandt and Sargent, notably, were portrait artists.
That's correct.
I had a P and an O and a blank and a T, so I thought it was going to be post. It was like, post something. But no, portrait artists.
Yeah, and of course Rembrandt, did do a lot of portraits. He did other work as well, but yeah, he did do a lot of portraits.
See, again, that's one of my weaknesses. Not that it shows up as much, but just artists. One of the things I really regret. I just don't know more about art.
Well, and I have to admit that I got a lot more filled in at the bottom than I did at the top. So I kind of stayed in the bottom for the most part and got that all filled up, and then I worked my way back up to the top. But I did have answers in every corner there.
I started I started with 65 across, the very last across. Unsullied environment, Eden. And even I'm not even sure if I got Eden out of that. But, oh, no, you know what I got first? 58 down. Tend toward. And the answer was lean.
That's right.
And on the basis of that, and let's see, Burl of the Food Network. I would be lying if I said I knew that was Anne, but apparently it was.
Yes.
And then I sort of moved out from there, moved from the southeast to the northwest.
Right.
I had 36 down. It's leavened with sour milk. I had bread as the last 5 letters of that answer. I didn't know what to do with the first 4.
Oh, soda bread.
Right. I know that now. I wanted it to be sour bread, but
no,
they already
couldn't be sour.
Right, because they already had sour in the clue.
Right. And that one right next to it, 37 across, bootlegger busters.
Yep.
And I always, is it T-men or G-men?
I went for feds.
Oh, well, at first I thought maybe feds, but then I thought, no, I bet it's G-men. So I put G-men. But
it was plural, because otherwise I would have gone for narcs.
For what? Oh,
narcs.
Yeah, but no, they didn't have narcs back in bootlegging days.
Well, I wasn't paying attention, so.
They had G or T-men, I guess, from the Treasury. Well, I don't know. I thought G-men, government men, but T-men was the right answer.
Yeah, right. We had 31 down, blank never sleeps, banking slogan, and the answer was CITI, C-I-T-I. Right. And the reason they never sleep is they keep asking, what's in your wallet? It's just like, get out of my wallet and go to sleep.
I was going to say, I've never heard that slogan, CITI never sleeps. I always hear, what's in your wallet? But they must have this other, maybe this is their new slogan because people are so sick of what's in your wallet.
Yeah, it's just like none of your business. I just find it incredible that got approved by someone. Especially in this age of, concerns about privacy and hackers and all the rest of it. Mm-hmm. Psst, what's in your wallet? Uh-huh. Let's see, 23 down. Swear words was, I promise. I thought it was going to have something to do with a vow.
Oh.
But.
Yeah, I was thinking I do, or, I promise was the right answer. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, what do they make them say when they take the oath in a courtroom?
Right. Oh, I see. I guess that would
promise to tell the truth.
That would be.
They just say yes. So.
Sure, why not? Mm-hmm. 29 down was awful, and the answer was stank. I started off with stunk.
Oh,
actually, I'm not even sure if I started off with that, but I was trying to figure out when should I use stank and when should I use stunk.
I think they're interchangeable, but but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
they're both considered past tense.
Right. I wonder.
I almost never use stank. I've used stunk. But
I'm wondering if stunk is inanimate and referring to like just an odor, and stank is referring to performance.
No, I think stunk can be like a verb.
Right. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to investigate this.
Yeah.
Stank versus stunk. Mm-hmm. Of course, we probably have a few English majors listening in. English majors, help us out here. Is it stank or is it stunk?
Or can they be used interchangeably?
Or can they be used? Perhaps there's a middle ground. Stank. And speaking of middle ground, well, you already mentioned 15 across. One might be reached at a summit. Peace deal. I was thinking it was going to be something like détente or entente, but that was not the case. Mm-hmm. Let's see, where else? 59 across, youth-centric magazine spinoff, Teen Vogue.
Yep.
I found that to be a challenge.
Oh, I did know that one.
You knew it?
I used to subscribe to it when I was a teen.
Okay, well that definitely, is it still around?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Okay. 62 across I thought was great. Competition with many missions, space race.
Yeah, that was a great clue. I like that one too.
And considering that I'm binge watching For All Mankind, you would have thought I would have gotten that a little faster than I did. But I sort of recognized the word race, I think. Maybe I got space first. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I was tired enough, so for 44 down, con target. The answer was Patsy.
Right.
And at first I thought, okay, sap, and then chump. But eventually I'm like, oh, it's Patsy. And that meant that 44 across, faux finish, was pas in faux pas.
Right.
That was good.
Yep.
There were a lot of really good answers in this crossword. I mean, all of these clues I found to be a challenge, not Sam Mazursky hard, but still pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And
like 18 across, hyperbolic ordinal, umpteenth.
Right.
I had no idea what that
Well,
was going.
I think I had enough. I think I had the letters at the end, NTH, and I thought, oh, it's like going to be, first I thought it's going to be millionth, but then I thought, well, it's hyperbolic, so I went for zillionth.
Oh,
But it turned out to be, as you say, umpteenth. The one beneath that, claim in court, harm, 21 across.
Right, yeah.
That was good, I guess. Let's see. 22 across, peaks, squeak was a yip. I went for arf.
I started with arf too, yes. But I guess a yip is more squeaky than an arf.
Yes, arp sounds a little bit lower in the range there. Speaking of range, we had another one here. It was, I don't know if I can find it. It was like alto or something like that.
It was right below 35 down. Bajo's opposite, and that was alto.
Right. I had no idea what a bajo was.
I'm not really sure myself. I mean, it's Spanish, but I don't remember.
Oh, you know what? I think it's musical. I think B-A-J-O looks like the word bass, and alto would be alto. Wait, why would they?
Alto, but...
Why would they be opposite?
I think they mean something other than music.
You know, we theorized we had English majors. Maybe we've got some Spanish majors.
Yeah, I don't remember those words from my Spanish.
You know, as I look at these clues, the southeast corner was definitely, that's where they decided to sort of give people a break. Like 51 down, treetop dwelling, Erie. Right. And you know, I had the E of Eden, and I almost had 63 across, Roman goddess of childbirth, Diana.
Right.
That's also that was pretty straightforward, because I had it ending in an A, and I thought, okay, it's Roman, it's probably Diana.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how about 43 across? 43 across was, let's see, go to the blank, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Proverbs 6:6, and the answer was ant.
That's right.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard? I don't quite follow that, but...
Well, I don't know, maybe that's King James Version. It must be, because thou, sluggard, but, you know, it's like, look at the ant. The ant is always working, always...
You sure? I see a lot of them at the pub. They don't look like they're working when I see them. I learned today that I did not know 55 down, shade akin to mauve. I had it starting with P, and I went for pink.
Oh.
And I thought, I didn't think that was right, but I didn't know what was. And
puce.
What was puce.
Puce,
yep.
Yes.
48 down, grand was regal. That I found hard. I found just about everything hard in this crossword. Let's see, what was 47 across, where the malleus and incus bones are found. And I'm like, and then I looked at malleus and decided, oh, that sounds like a mallet, which sounds like a hammer.
Yep.
So that's got to be in the ear. I don't know what the incus is.
Well, it could be the anvil or the stirrup.
I think it's probably close to the Mayans.
I think it's...
The Mayans and the Incas?
No. I think it's the anvil. You know, there are 3 bones in the ear. The hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. So,
what about the Incas?
Well, maybe I'm thinking that might be the anvil.
Oh, okay.
No.
Let's see. Ready for a drive, perhaps? 53 down. I was very pleased to get teed, T-E-E-D, except it was wrong. The answer was on CD.
Right.
That is...
You got teed?
Yeah, you know, you like tee up for a drive.
Right.
You're teed. You're ready. I thought it was pretty clever, but it was totally wrong.
Yes.
So maybe not that clever. Let's see. 33 down. Spot for a toque. Tet. And I was trying to decide if that should be in French or in English. But they went for the French.
Oh, of course.
So.
Yeah, because toque, that's a French word, right?
It is.
Yeah.
They
don't call those kind of hats toques down here.
But it's entered the English language. I mean, you always talk about someone wearing a toque.
No,
you don't.
Not in the U.S.
Sure you do.
You talk about someone wearing a toque.
Oh, come on. People in the U.S. wear toques.
Well, they do. But
you wait a couple of months.
They call them stocking caps.
You wait a couple of months and you will see people around here wearing toques.
Oh, I'm sure I will, but they won't call them that.
They might. If we give them enough money. I don't know why we're giving them money to say the word toque, just to prove me right.
Okay.
Let's see. There was another one here that I thought was pretty interesting, and I do not know where. Let's see, drat and stuff. It was
was it 27 across? Kier, Stammer, and others for short.
PMs. Yeah. Boy, that was hard. Because I was thinking, it's going to be labor, and I was trying to figure out what's the plural for labor. Plural. What's the abbreviation for labor? And that's plural. So I was thinking like LBS, and just like that's pounds.
No.
Doesn't.
It was prime ministers.
Yes.
PMS. Yes. Mm-hmm.
We had 26. Okay, 26 down was a gimme. Ice cream or cake response, perhaps. 4 letters, both. Yeah. That was the one gimme in that area, but I needed a gimme there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good clue.
And we had 52 across pangolin scales, functionally armor.
Right.
So the pangolins, those are the anteaters, right?
No.
Oh, they aren't?
No. Aardvarks.
Well, I know that aardvarks, but I thought pangolin was another name for them.
No. Aardvarks are anteaters.
Right.
But pangolins are something totally different.
I see. Okay, I'm going to research.
They might eat ants, I don't know. But, but I don't think they call them anteaters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Well, there was one other answer that I was really keen on talking about, but I can't find it. So I don't know how these things just vanish on me. Let's see. What female llamas do to show disinterest in a male. 25 down is spit. Funny, that still sort of works in the human race, I believe.
No.
Maybe not.
I hope not.
Let's see. We had Nostradamus supposedly was seer, 14 down. That was pretty straightforward. Found the one I was looking for. 13 across. Spy's assumption, alias.
Yes.
I thought that was nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I found every one of these clues to be a challenge and artfully worded and very clever. And so hats off to Adrian Johnson.
Very good, Adrian.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Adrian. And edited as always by Joel Fagliano. It is Friday, though, which means it's time for Fun Fact Friday. Do you have a fun fact for Fun Fact Friday?
I do.
Excellent.
I do. I have a few fun little facts about a character that was in this week's puzzle.
Okay.
Yosemite Sam.
Right.
You know Yosemite Sam?
Mm-hmm.
He is a character in the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies series, and that was produced by Warner Brothers. His name was taken, of course, from Yosemite National Park in California. He is an adversary of Bugs Bunny and his arch enemy alongside Elmer Fudd. And it was said that he was created because they wanted somebody who was really a mean enemy. You know, Elmer Fudd is kind of a bumbling oaf.
Right.
But Yosemite Sam is depicted as a mean-spirited and extremely aggressive gunslinging outlaw or cowboy with a hair-trigger temper and intense hatred of rabbits, bugs in particular. But he was also in many other different kinds of characters, and they all had kind of similar names. Like one of his aliases was Chillicoot Sam, and one was Square Deal Sam, which was sort of a takeoff on Sam Spade. And there was Riff Raff Sam in Sahara Hair. There was Sam Schultz in Big House Bunny. Seagoing Sam, he was a sailor. Shanghai Sam. Bon Sham, the Hessian. and Baron Sam von Schapam.
Wow.
And many others. He was and various characters, but he always wore his little bandit little mask around his eyes. No matter what character he was, he always wore the mask. So that kind of melded them all together. He was created by animator Fritz Freleng.
Oh, yes.
And back in 1945, and it was said with his grumpy demeanor, fiery temper, strident voice, and short stature, in 2 early gags, a train he was attempting to rob passed right over him. He had to use a set of portable stairs to get on his horse. But anyway, and he rides a miniature horse with that. But he was, in some ways, actually a caricature of Freleng.
Oh, really? Okay.
And while he often denied any intentional resemblance, the Looney Tunes Golden Collection surviving members of his production crew assert that the director's daughter acknowledged that Sam was definitely inspired by Freleng. Freleng himself even said in an interview, "I have the same temperament, I am small, and I used to have a red mustache." So as the animators worked on the character, they made him more and more like the animator who first created him. He was also influenced by Red Skelton, Tex Avery, and Dangerous Dan McFoo, who was another cartoon character. One other thing I wanted to mention was that the principal voice was
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc.
Who else?
And it said in his autobiography, Blanc said he had a very difficult time coming up with a voice.
Really?
Yes. He tried giving Sam a small voice, but did not feel that worked. One day he decided to simply yell at the top of his voice, which was inspired by a fit of road rage he had that day. It fit perfectly with the character, but it was also a strain on his throat, thus he always did Sam's lines at the end of a recording session so he could rest overnight. As he got into his 70s, his voice became too rough on his throat. So the role of Sam was taken over by voice actor Joe Alasky in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, while Blanc did all the other Looney Tunes in that film. This makes Sam one of the few voices created by Blanc to be voiced by someone else during his lifetime.
Interesting, very interesting.
So, a few facts on Yosemite Sam.
It's funny, he was saying that he was small like he was, but my thought was, well, he might have thought himself perhaps as small, but he was a giant among animators.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, that was fascinating. One last thing before we wrap it up, a little bit of fan mail. This is from Gregory, who took advantage of our fan mail link to send us something. I'm sure someone has already informed you, but the Pinto was not made by American Motors. It, along with the Edsel, was a Ford.
Oh, no.
If you want an AMC flop, look no further than the Gremlin, Gregory, who is writing from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, my.
But yes, you're quite right. We looked after you wrote this, and the Pinto was made by Ford, and I guess it had a reputation. People would run into it from the rear, and it would explode.
Yes.
And I guess it was there were physical issues, but there was also the question of how Ford sort of dealt with that. Perhaps not in the best way possible, but they haven't had flops too.
That is true. I remember that now.
Right. I don't think they've had many flops as of late. Maybe their quality control is a little bit better. But anyway, thank you so much for that, Gregory. Really, really appreciate that. If anyone else wants to do what Gregory just did, you can click on the fan mail link, which appears in the show notes, or you can also just email us, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com. That is it for today then, so thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back again with our cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.